right, y'all. It's time for the
That's the intro clip right there.
Oh god. Okay.
Oh, the blooper reel.
All right, y'all. It's time for our 2021 Oscars review. Y'all ready? Let's go.
I came to vibe, you came to function, just do that, baby. Don't worry about nothing, no, 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 no.
What's good, y'all? It's your boy Bright here, the R&B kid. I'm back again with another. Well, actually, no, we're back again with another video for y'all. Y'all know my guy Miguel. He's back. I told y'all to watch out for this video. We're here to do our review of this year's Oscars, like we always do. It's pretty much a tradition at this point.
At this point, yeah.
We missed 2019, I think, but
2020. No, we missed last year.
Oh yeah, we missed. No, we did last year. We missed 2019. Remember?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but we did last year after we did it. Yeah. So
before, I think that was before the world shut down.
Yes, that was back when that was prehistoric times before the panorama. But yeah, man. So we are both busy as hell, and we're both dealing with finishing out semesters.
Life.
So we're over it. So this video is a little bit late, y'all, because Oscars went down this actually last Sunday. Yeah. But we're here to do a review for y'all. So let's get to it. I'm excited. Miguel, do you want to say anything?
Nah, man. I'm just excited to come do this, man. You know, it's really becoming tradition now, and I love it, man. It's I don't get to talk much about it, so I'm here for it. Let's do this.
All right, I'm excited, y'all. Let's get into it. Without further ado, let's stop rambling. Let's get into our 2021 Oscars review. Y'all ready? Let go. All right, y'all. So first up, we're gonna talk about how we felt about the show. I think across the board, a lot of people felt like this was a very disappointing Oscars. Yeah. I think at the end of the day, I'm still proud of them for pressing on and trying to have the ceremony in the age of COVID.
I agree.
I really liked the format of how they had it, at Union Station, I think it was. It felt really intimate.
I felt like I was watching a movie type. It felt like you felt like you were watching a movie within a movie type. It's like they were
somewhat
filming,
I liked it.
Yeah, so I think just the way the cameras that they were using, it was just it gave it a different feel.
Right.
I enjoyed that part for sure, and the intimate feel. I think it was fitting for the times. It's just I don't know, going back to the status quo as is. It just wouldn't feel the same during this. So I personally, just for the visuals and the aesthetics, I enjoyed that.
True. Yeah, I'm glad they didn't do a Zoom format. Yeah. But at the same time, I think a lot of people just were not really rocking with the Oscars this year because even though the intimate format I think was appreciated, I think we would talk about this before we got on camera. Yeah. The way they structured the show in terms of not cutting off speeches and having Best Actor and Best Actress be the last awards of the night was just ended up being such a trash decision, because at the end of the day we all felt that Chadwick was gonna win, and we'll talk about this in a second. But to have the Oscars end on that type of vibe where it's
it's just real dry.
You end on a major snub, and you also let go tradition. Yeah. Best Picture should always be the last award.
That's the point. That's the point of it.
Exactly.
You build the hype towards the picture towards
Best
of the
Picture.
film, and then to just end it, and it just felt really blah and really, and it was just okay,
and then it was over.
Here, all right, that's it.
Right,
everybody go home.
Yo, I felt so bad for Joaquin Phoenix. The way he was okay, it's actually Anthony Hopkins, and it's been a good night. Bye, y'all.
The Academy accepts on his behalf. All
right. I don't even think they showed the camera of the crowd, but I bet you when that shit happened, I bet you everyone was what? And that's why they didn't show the crowd, because everyone probably was yo.
And the thing is, and it's and they should know Joaquin Phoenix. You can't I love him as an actor, but people know him as an individual. The way he's he's just kind of awkward in those situations. Right. So to put him up there to end the show, and then especially if I'm guessing they knew who won already before that. I'm guessing.
No, but I don't think they actually did know, which is why you really don't do that. They're not supposed to know who. Or I think the company that handles the voting system, they know, but the Oscars don't know themselves until until the envelope is open. But I think Grace from Beyond the Trailer mentioned this. You know her? Yeah. She mentioned this in her Oscars review. I love Grace. Yes. She mentioned how she felt like the company should have told the Oscars, especially when they knew that they were putting Best Actor last, yo, Chadwick isn't winning, and they should have done that.
You got it, because you have to have some sort of acknowledgement of that. Because I even felt the fact that with Chadwick, the fact that he was gone, the only time I really felt it was in the memoriam, and that was real quick, a quick all right, they showed his face, and that was it.
Right.
So, and then to have it end, and obviously we know it was a major snub. It just, I don't know. I didn't like that. That vibe was really trash, honestly.
So we'll talk about it this more in depth when we get to Best Actor. But any other thoughts on the show? I thought the show was like pretty. I didn't think it was like that bad, but I still feel like it kind of was like a mixed bag. Like there were some really great moments. Glenn Close shaking ass to the butt. You know what I'm saying? Like that was a whole moment. Shout out to Glenn Close. You're always invited to the cookout. You're always invited to the cookout. I mean, she was always invited regardless, but now she's really invited to the cookout. Legend, Glenn Close.
The butt, man. I think of Rev Run in the show. Yeah, in the show, it was like an episode I was watching, and so he mentioned the song like the.
That was a vibe, so I love that moment. I feel like there was some great speeches, like a lot of people had great speeches. Daniel Kaluuya, his speech was cool until he mentioned.
He cracked me up.
Yo, dog, I fell out when he said that shit.
I was like, wait, what? I was like, bro. But it felt like Daniel, because Daniel's
that's him. Like
he's that kind of dude. Like him. He just like he lives life, man. He loves life.
Right,
you know?
he's mad chill.
He's just a cool. Like I would love to chill with him, yo. Like I just want to just vibe with him, yo, because he's just a funny dude. Yo.
I want to chill with Dan Kaluuya, and I felt like if I won an Oscar, I don't know if I would say that, but I probably would be that hype and that geeked. I probably would say some dumb shit like that too. Like my parents had sex, I'm here. Like we all alive, we're breathing. They bad. Like I feel
it's
that.
Like bro, and I think with this time, man, you have to kind of like I don't know. It's just more of an appreciation of life. You gotta have more of an appreciation for life know that. That's true. Like we really blessed to be here right now.
That's facts.
And not even to be on some whatever tangent.
No, it's true. It's true.
But it's real talk. We gotta be happy to be here. So if you wanna let loose when you win your first Oscar, I don't give a shit. Go ahead,
that's
bro.
True. That's true.
Get hyped. Talk your stuff, yo. Be hyped. So whatever. I had no problem with that. I love that. I was like, yo, go off, bro. It
was a great moment. So I thought there were a lot of great speeches. I'm trying to see if there's any other speeches I want to point out. Yoo Jung-yoon's speech. Mama is so adorable. It's so funny.
She was hilarious.
I love her. Who else had a really dope speech? Let's see. I thought John Batista's speech was nice when he won for Soul. Who else had a nice speech? Thomas Vinterberg's speech was really like adorable with him talking about the death of his daughter. That was really touching.
Wasn't these dudes from Two Distant?
Two Distant Strangers. Trayvon Freeze and Martin Rowe's speech. That was a moment talking about just not forgetting the names of those who have gone due to police brutality
And even I forgot who it was, but one of them had a pin, like a Kobe pin on them too.
Word?
Had a
word.
24 and a 2 on it.
That's Gigi, dope. That's dope.
Her birthday's today, so happy birthday.
Oh yeah, happy birthday, Gigi. It is.
And,
I also heard that the outfit, the tuxedos they wore had the names of people who were lost to police.
No, that was dope. That was powerful.
So that was a great speech. That was a great moment in the show.
Had a good speech too.
I loved her speech when she won. Shout out to her. Who else had a good speech? Something. I loved what were their names who won makeup and hairstyling? Mia Neal and Jamaica Wilson, the first black winners of best makeup and hairstyling. I love their speech about her father living the life he lived so this moment could happen, and how it should no longer be a special occurrence for it to be the first black person to win. And I love that.
That was good.
That was a great speech. Yeah, man, I think that was pretty much it for the great speeches I want to highlight. Any other moments of the show you want to talk about? Anything else you remember from the show before we get into the categories?
No, I mean, they had Regina walking, man, for that intro.
They made my girl Regina walk for that intro.
I had to look at, I'm like, damn, how far she
walking? I know Regina was out of breath when you said she was all right, y'all, we here. Welcome to the Oscars. I was like, they made Regina walk.
Y'all ain't even right for that one, bro. They ain't even right for that one.
But Regina looked good, though. Regina looked yo, our queen Regina never looks bad.
She's aging like fine wine.
She is the moment. She's everything, you know what I'm saying? Regina King, she had to do for that intro. I loved it.
And shout out, I mean, whatever, but shout out to her with directing with One Night in Miami.
Yes, bro.
Yes.
Y'all know I'm already tight as hell that Regina King didn't get enough love this season. One Night in Miami was snubbed for picture and director. It didn't need to get both all the other openings, but I feel like it should have got at least one.
So help me.
At least director or picture, one of those. That was a major snub in my opinion, but whatever.
And man, but I'm excited for her too. Whatever, but I'm excited for what's coming for her because she's with this film. But she's coming, man. She's talented as an actress, super talented, and now, especially all the love she's been getting as a director.
Yes, it's really a problem now.
Yeah, she's really that one right there.
Facts. I feel so blessed to be living the age of. I feel like so much, black and people of color, like a renaissance coming in Hollywood. Like it's happening. Like I love seeing it.
I realized Steven Soderbergh was one of the producers.
Steven Soderbergh produced the show, and I feel bad for him because he's an acclaimed director. He's a good dude. I know he didn't mean to do bad, but him and his team really messed up by changing up the order of putting picture before best actor and actress. And they also had best director like really early on the show as well, which is really messed up. And at the end of the day, we knew Nomadland was winning picture and director, but you still keep up with tradition. You still, like that was, I don't know. Yeah, man. So overall, the show was alright. It had its high points with some funny moments, but also had a lot of dry parts. But we can't be too mad because it's hard to do a really.
Definitely unfortunate too that they had like the lowest
ratings in history, ever. Which we knew was gonna happen anyways because people don't care about award shows no more. We're some of that rare breed people that still care about award shows and what they mean for the culture of like music and movies. But a lot of people just don't care no more. Like y'all don't care. This generation don't care no more, which I get. But I still care about these things. So man. Even though it's the lowest viewed Oscars, I still think I'm proud of what they did. Yeah. And I just felt like if they had not played on with the order. Yeah, and if they had, if they had done that and actually come up with and also they didn't show no damn clips throughout the whole ceremony. That's the other thing.
They had in a few of them.
But not like the real ones.
It was weird. It was like, which I don't know. I feel like you need to have clips of everything, everywhere. So for folks who might not have seen, get some sort of understanding, something of what exactly these folks are being nominated for. You can't just assume that everybody's seen it,
You're right.
So, but I didn't like that the without the clips because I mean. It was just a lot of. I did like the intro for the director for Parasite, how
that was great.
His whole journey with, I love that with films and stuff. I forget. I don't
Bong Joon-ho, right?
I don't know how to say his name and I don't want to butcher it, so I'm just gonna say director for Parasite.
Bong Joon-ho, I got him.
He got me. There you go. But no, he definitely that was cool. But I definitely think bring back the clips, please. Next year, please.
That wasn't that. I was thinking about. There was something else I couldn't think about. That was also what brought on the show too, is the fact that there was no clips. Like Miguel said, for people that didn't really watch all these movies or not really into movies like that but still want to watch the show, it helps to have clips, especially for best picture, best director, or not director, best picture, best and all the acting categories,
or even you
gotta have clips
and the stylistic ones. So you're talking about makeup or
costume, all that stuff, production design. Have the clips so people can see what they're being nominated
see
for.
What the hell I'm looking at, you know. So I definitely that's a big critique I had about that. You can't have an award show in film and not have clips.
It felt so weird because even though I was enjoying the ceremony and stuff, I every category as I was going by, I was like, I know this work. He knows this work because we've seen the movies. But for people that have not seen the movies, it's they're gonna be like, all right, congrats to the person that won. But do I feel like they should have won because they can't see clips, so they don't really,
you turning off your audience with stuff. Because that was going on Twitter and stuff. It was a big critique. A lot of people complaining about that. It's
I agree.
I was like, at first I was like, man. I didn't really, and then when I thought about it again, I was like, how you not have clips?
I know. That was bad.
That was bad.
So man, I think that's all we had for our general thoughts about the actual award ceremony. Let us know down below what y'all thought about this year's ceremony. Did you guys hate it? Did you guys love it? Did you think it was okay? What did you think was good? What did you think was bad? Let us know down below. We gave you our thoughts. Now we want to hear your thoughts. All right, man, let's get into categories now. All right, y'all. First category we're going to talk about is Best Picture. So we have all the categories here listed on the screen, and we're just looking at everything. We're going to give you guys our thoughts about everyone. So let's go. First up is Best Picture. Do you want to start it off? How you felt about this category?
I mean, honestly, Nomadland, I enjoyed the film. I think I'm definitely not complaining. I just, for entertainment value, and we talked about it. I really enjoyed Promising Young Woman. I think the twist.
I was surprised he loved it so much when he told me that.
I think it was just I don't know, it was like you felt like at some point it was going to be like that. I mean, there was a happy ending in a way, not really, but
it was vindication.
It was vindication. That's the word, yes. But it was just, it threw me off. I was like, oh crap.
Yeah.
I had to replay what the hell happened because I was watching it and I was like, what the hell just happened? So I watched that, but no, I really enjoyed it. Again, all the movies I really, obviously Judas and the Black Messiah, I love that film.
That was a highlight for me too.
Yes, it was a highlight. Don't get it twisted. The Father, I really enjoyed. Sir Anthony Hopkins did his thing. The movie was another one that kind of, in the beginning, kind of threw me off, and I was like, oh, but
yeah, we was confused watching that first too.
But as it went on, I was like, okay, this is really good. Mank. Mank I was cool with. I probably won't watch it again. I don't know. I don't really care for, didn't care for it that much, which is unfortunate because I do like those kind of old school films like that.
He does. Yeah.
Minari was really good. I love Sound of Metal. I was saying I really enjoyed. I thought there was Riz Ahmed did his thing up in there too, and there was just a certain tension and anxiousness as I watched that film, but I really enjoyed it, man. It was really good. And The Trial of the Chicago 7 was another one that was really good. I think, but at the end of the day, like, I had no problem with Nomadland winning. I think it was a really powerful movie, and really, like, you know, the emotions were really high up in that one. So I got no problem with that one. So.
Appreciate the breakdown, bro. Y'all see him? You know, he on this shit. Like, this is why I love this man, yo. Me and this dude been friends for like 5 years now, which is crazy. Man, and I love a movie still going strong. So yeah, I appreciate the breakdown, bro. I was happy with this category. Yeah. We all knew Nomadland was winning. Nomadland has been winning everything all season. It won BAFTAs, it won PGA, it won the Globes, it's won everything it needed to win. So we knew it was winning, so I'm glad it won. Like Miguel said, I love Nomadland. I actually watched it twice. The first time I watched it, I was like, that's cool. But then I watched the second time, I was like, oh, this is really, like, it got me the second time I watched it. Really powerful film. I love the narrative of it, but no surprise it won. Yeah. I thought this was a pretty strong lineup of films, though, to be honest. The only movie I didn't like that much was Mank, like Miguel was talking about. I thought visually it was a spectacle to watch. I loved the movie visually. Yes. But for me, it was just a really dry and boring watch in terms of the script, even though the performances were, and Ministry was good. I didn't like Gary Oldman that much, but yeah, like, I thought this was a really solid lineup of films. My favorite movies here were probably Judas and the Black Messiah, but like I said before, Minari and Sound of Metal. Yeah. Those are probably my favorite categories favorite films in the category, but I'm definitely not surprised Nomadland won. I would have loved to see an upset by Sound of Metal or Judas and Black Messiah. It would have been nice to see that, or even Minari, but we knew Nomadland was winning, so I'm cool with that. Yeah, man. I don't think this was a category that really had any surprises.
No, I don't think so. I think, you know, like you said, it was solid. It was solid across the board, and honestly, I would have not. Besides Mank, like. I probably wouldn't still have been upset if any of these other films won, and you could make a strong argument for all of them. Like,
you really can. It's funny how in this year where Nomadland was like the clear front runner, every movie, I feel like every movie besides Mank almost had a path to winning, which is interesting. Trial of Chicago 7, I think, was a movie that a lot of people talk about probably upsetting, but I would have been okay with that. But I also would have felt like Nomadland is a better. I don't know. I feel like Child Chicago 7 is more relevant to what's going on right now in society. But I feel like Nomadland for the history of the Oscars would have been a better winner this year. More so, you know what I'm saying?
And I feel like Trial of the Chicago 7 lost a lot of buzz. It
did lost a lot of steam. It won the SAG Ensemble, which was helped it like kind of pick up some steam. But as it got towards the Oscars, like I felt like people weren't talking about it anymore. Like a lot of people talk about all the other films, like I've heard, but the discourse on that one wasn't as high as you would want, you know, for a film that you would potentially want to win an Oscar. So I agree. So Any other thoughts on this category?
No, I think we covered that one.
Alright, cool, y'all. That was Best Picture. Alright, and now we're on to Best Director. So this shouldn't last too long. We all knew Chloe Zhao was winning for Nomadland. This is a clear lock from the beginning of the season. Chloe Zhao racked up everything. This was no surprise at all. I am upset that they set it up so that she won so early on in the ceremony. I really feel like she should have been her category should have been like before, like, you know, best actor, best actress, and all that stuff, instead of so early on in the ceremony. But it's whatever. She still won her category. Shout out to Chloe Zhao. She definitely deserved it. She was her direction in Nomadland was stunning. Some of the best of the year. Amazing.
I can't wait for her and the Eternals, man. Y'all already know for your comic book heads and for the Marvel and DC and all of those superhero films. Right. I feel like she's got something cooking, and they got a great cast for that film, man. That cast is on point, so it's coming. She's coming something strong with that one for sure.
Yeah, man. I'm excited for Chloe Zhao's feature. I'm excited, but besides Eternals, I'm excited to see what else she has on the pipeline. Yeah, this category is no surprise. I didn't see anybody else really upsetting in this category. I thought everyone's category was amazing. Besides, I've not seen another around yet, but I thought everybody else deserved to be here. I've told you guys before, I thought Regina King should have been here, or Shaka King. I thought Shaka King was an underrated pick for Best Director this year.
I don't understand like how those two got snubbed for this category. Like,
I mean, there's only 5 slots, but at least one of them should have got here. Like I'm really shocked there was no black directors in And I'm glad that there were 2 women, which is a landmark. This is a landmark year for that. 2 women in Best Director category, which is amazing. But there should have been at least one black director.
At least one. You had to have at least one of them.
There were so many doing their thing this year. We had Spike Lee, Regina King, Shaka King. Like, we didn't have one black director here, and it's a goddamn shame. George C. Wolfe from Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, like somebody, like, but whatever. So yeah, that was Best Director. Any other thoughts in this category?
No, we good, baby.
All right, that's it. Chloe Zhao, salute. All right, y'all. Now we're on to Best Actor.
So yeah, I think for again, we talked about it. We've been talking about it, and we like to try to run through our notes and stuff through our head. I think this category was strong, man. It's strong.
Was strong category.
And I'm gonna say this first. Again, congrats to Sir Anthony Hopkins. He killed it in this film. He deserved it. He was awesome. So don't let me preface. But obviously, I'm gonna be super biased because I think Chadwick should have won this category. I think he was, for those who watched Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, he was superb in this. Like, you felt it. You felt his performance through the freaking screen, man. So I was definitely upset to see that he lost. And then obviously the way it was handled in the ceremony was absolute garbage. So y'all wasn't right for that one. But I think, but the other and I think, Brian would probably talk a little bit more. I think Gary Oldman probably shouldn't have been, like, if he wasn't in there, I think we'd be just fine without him. Steven Yeun, or he was great in Minari. I really enjoyed him, but at the end of the day, and Riz Ahmed, again, he killed it in Sound of Metal. I love this performance in Sound of Metal. Man, wow. But at the end of the day, for me, it was Chadwick or bust for me, and because I would have been, I was very disappointed when I saw he didn't win. So
right, appreciate the breakdown, bro. He gives you a good breakdown. I fully agree with Miguel, y'all. I remember sitting there when I watched the Oscars. I remember sitting there being completely shocked. Not shocked because I already said in my prediction video that I knew that there was a chance that Anthony Hopkins could spoil for this category, especially after he won the BAFTA. I was like, oh, that's another thing. I want to mention this. The BAFTAs were completely telling for the Oscars this year. I actually looked it up and I realized that the BAFTAs predicted everything that happened at the Oscars, I think, besides cinematography. Like, they literally had everything that the Oscars had, which doesn't always happen like that. The BAFTAs will have, like, some things, but they won't have everything that the Oscars will pick. But the BAFTAs picked everything that happened at the Oscars did, which is so interesting to think about. So from now on, when I do my predictions, I'm going to be thinking about the BAFTAs, like, even harder now. But I remember sitting there, like, being surprised that it ended like that, especially like how Miguel mentioned with how the producers set it up so that Best Actor was the last category of the night. That's never happened before in Oscars history, and it really left such a bad stain on the Academy, in my opinion, not just for this year but for years to come, because the Oscars had no proof that Chadwick was going to win, but yet they ended up using his name and his likeness for so much promo and so much advertising around the Oscars this year. They had his family, they had his wife sitting there like front row when the category was being announced, and they had like I think I heard like they had like NFTs or some type of like digital thing about Chadwick and like all the gift bags that they
very disrespectful.
Yeah, that they distributed this year. It's like the Oscars like low-key like pimped out Chadwick Boseman's death and his life and his legacy for their promo for this year's show. And on one hand, I can understand it because he was a beloved actor, and of course everybody wanted him to win for the legacy of his life, and because he gave the performance of his lifetime and one of the best performances of this year in Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. At the same time, like I said, because there's no guarantee that he could win, they should have just left the order of the categories as is, as they always do. And especially since the Oscars knew that Anthony was not going to be there, Sir Anthony Hopkins was not going to be there, I just feel like that should have given them even more reason to say we're not going to put this category last, because we know that there's a good chance Chadwick could not win. I was telling you guys all season that I thought Chadwick was going to win. I thought he should win, and I still stand by that. I think the reason why I'm really torn in this category is because we talked about it. We both watched The Father and pretty much every movie in this category, and we both thought Anthony Hopkins was
superb,
brilliant. As you know, as men of color, of course we're gonna root for Chadwick, because let's be honest about it, like we root for our people, like, you know what I'm saying?
Damn right.
And I don't want Chadwick to win just because he's black, and because I feel like we haven't had a black best actor in a minute.
Was great.
he was worthy of the Oscar. He gave the performance of a lifetime in that film. And Grace, another point that Grace brought up in her review, she talked about the fact that, especially when you're dealing with this level of greatness in one category, at some point you have to, she said, like, at some point you have to, like, put, like, your objective sense of who was the best out the window and really think about other factors, because we think Chadwick was the best, but there's someone down the street that probably thought Anthony Hopkins was the best.
That's true.
And there's probably someone else that thought Riz Ahmed was the best. Yeah. And that's what this is all about. Yeah. But we both thought Chadwick deserved it. Maybe more people in the Academy thought Anthony Hopkins deserved it, and that's fine. But the reason why I think the Oscars were completely trash for this decision this year, Anthony Hopkins is a man who was beloved, and he already has an Oscar. And he also could be nominated in future years. Yeah, he's still working. He's still doing his thing.
And he's a great actor.
And he's a great actor that's beloved. He already has an Oscar to his name. And at the end of the day, Riz Ahmed, this is his Welcome to the Club nomination. He will win in the future. He's going to get it.
Yeah, he's cool.
Gary Oldman has already won. Steven Yeun, Welcome to the Club nomination. He'll be good. But for Chadwick Boseman, who has never been nominated before, even though he's given so many great performances in the past, for this to have been his only chance to win the Oscar, it's just so sad that for the legacy of his life and for also the Oscars themselves, this moment should have happened.
Yeah, I always think of the phrase, you got to read the room.
You have to read the room.
They didn't. I felt like they didn't really read the room. They thought they did with all that other stuff, but it was handled very poorly.
It was
handled very poorly.
It was.
And you know, I'm glad, you know, that his family was like, you know, that they didn't really care for that. You know, they were just like, you know,
they were better than me.
Yeah, they were.
I would have been like, fuck you.
Yeah, it would have been trash. I was like, yeah, it would have hurt. But I think it's like, you know, that it's great that, you know, Chadwick was somebody who didn't pride himself into the accolades and stuff. He was just about the work. And
that's true.
And you can see it in all his performances. He was about the work, man. He was about the work.
He was.
And he was great at it. And, you know, he definitely still missed, you know, because as somebody, a prominent black actor, you know, who was, and I don't want to say he was on the come up because he was here already, and he was going to continue to strive and be that great. Is, you know, I just think they handled that very poorly, and you know, shame on the Oscars for that one. So
yeah, that was a bad moment. I feel like this moment kind of reminded me of remember when Olivia Colman upsetted for Best Actress when everyone thought Glenn Close was going to win. This kind of reminds me of a situation where everyone thought somebody was going to win like all season, only for someone to take it in the last moment. Who like low key had a great performance as well, but like it wasn't what was supposed to happen. And the thing about it is, like, I'm torn because it was such a weird moment, because I want to be happy for Anthony Hopkins, because I want to be glad that the Oscars recognize such a brilliant performance. But unfortunately, this was such a packed year that, like I said, I'm not mad Anthony won, but Chadwick is never going to get out an opportunity, man. You know, and he's not going to be known as an Oscar-nominated actor instead of an Oscar-winning actor. And Chadwick, if you look at Chadwick's filmography, not just Black Panther, not just this movie, if you look at his entire filmography, his body work alone should have boded well enough for him to at least have won this Oscar. Anthony Hopkins already has an Oscar. It didn't need to happen this year, but I'm also not mad because Anthony was brilliant in The Father. So it's like it's tough.
It's tough. Like I wish I could have said Sir Anthony was trash.
He wasn't. Like he was amazing in The Father.
He was awesome. He drove that film to be what it was. Like a great film. Like it was his performance in that film, which was. But it's just it's very bittersweet. It's very bittersweet. It just, you know, it leaves a bad taste.
It does
for me, because I love Anthony Hopkins. I love him as an actor, but it's like, damn, man, y'all couldn't get this one right. Like, y'all couldn't handle this one right. Damn.
And it's telling because Anthony wasn't even there. Like, he wasn't even there because he didn't expect to win. Even he didn't expect to win, because he's like, no, Chadwick will win this for, you know. He wasn't even there, and then he put up like a little Twitter message the next day talking about like, oh, thank you guys so much, I appreciate it. Rest in peace, Chadwick Boseman. And I was like, yeah, like, thank you for recognizing the brilliant life and legacy of Chadwick Boseman. Rest in peace, Chadwick. You know, thank you for the gifts you gave us, bro. Thank you for your life. Thank you for your work. And honestly, an Oscar is never going to validate his life and his legacy at all. It would have been a nice cherry on top, but it doesn't at all.
The way that he handled, that's how the Oscar should have been doing. Like, it should have been, you know, like, damn.
It's all good. But yeah, so that's our thoughts on Best Actor, man.
I'll get over it. Maybe one day. But
this is gonna be to me, this is gonna be a major stain on the Oscars legacy for a long time to come.
We already been crapping on them for all these years just for the way what was it, the Oscar So White?
That was bad. 2016, that was bad.
And then now, like 5 years later, now look where we're at.
Right. I think what happened is so many people thought Chadwick was gonna be a lock.
Yeah.
That they were like, you know what? Because Chadwick is a lock, I'll just vote for Anthony Hopkins because I want to vote for him.
Damn.
And that makes sense, but at the same time, it doesn't make sense because even if you think Chadwick is going to be a lock, the only way he can be a lock is for him to get votes.
I mean,
so even if y'all want Anthony Hopkins to even if y'all want to vote for him, at the end of the day, I'm really disappointed that not enough voters did the right thing and voted for Chadwick for not only giving a performance that was worthy of the Oscar, but also for recognizing a lifetime of work that really was never recognized before this year.
As I've learned, there's only two things certain in life: is death and taxes. So
that part.
That's it.
That part.
I'm like
part.
They had to be done better, man. They had to get this man the recognition he deserves.
That part.
He might not have cared, but I care.
Right.
Like we care.
We care. So. But it's all right. We're gonna move on, y'all. Enough talking about that. All right, y'all. Now we're on to Best Actress. Do you want to start off or should I start it off?
Nah, you got it.
All right, so Best Actress. This category was another disappointing one to me, but another one I was kind of torn on because as someone who's watched Nomadland, I think I said this in an earlier video of mine. Frances McDormand was one of my favorite female performances of this year. I loved her in Nomadland. I thought she was brilliant. Frances McDormand is a legendary actress. Everything she touches is gold. She definitely was deserving of this Oscar, but I'm also completely disappointed that they decided to give Frances her third Best Actress Oscar after she just won 3 years ago for a movie. I said this in my predictions video, for a movie where I felt like she was in a role where it felt like she was just kind of not playing herself, but it felt like it was a role where she didn't have to really push outside of herself to really go to like a different zone or like
that's how I thought.
That's what it's like. I felt. No one can be mad that Frances won because if you've watched Nomadland, if you know who Frances McDormand is, you know that like she's a legend and like she was amazing in Nomadland. But if you look at this stacked category for Best Actress, where you have Viola Davis brilliantly portraying Ma Rainey, Andra Day giving my personal favorite female performance of 2020, or at least a little bit 21 as well. Andra Day was my favorite performance this whole period.
This man's real about that one.
Like I told you guys, like Andra Day, I'm so mad that she had to be set up in a movie that was directed by Lee Daniels and put on Hulu, because people don't fuck with movies directed by Lee Daniels.
Yeah.
And no one really watches a lot of movies that are based in Hulu.
Yeah.
Compared to Netflix or Amazon Prime or whatever.
Surprisingly, Nomadland was on Hulu too.
Exactly, which is funny. But like it wasn't like a Hulu original.
Yeah.
You know, but like Hulu original films, which Billie Holiday was, people don't tap into those as much as they do like a Netflix original or Amazon original. Yeah. So it's just like I'm mad that Angela was put in the situation she was put in because she gave. He hasn't fully finished seeing it, but I told him he needs to watch it as soon as possible because Miguel, like Andra Day just gave a performance that was breathtaking. Oh God, and if a lot of people were like saying like she should have won too.
That's what's disappointing. Like I think you said it best about I couldn't get the words really to describe like Frances's performance, but it was exactly what it is. It felt like it wasn't like an extra gear she needed to kind of figure out.
She was just
tap into that. It was like she was chilling.
Right.
Like you know, we can totally be wrong about that, and maybe that just speaks on the greatness of her as an actress. That it just, but it really just felt like, you know, she was just kind of rolled into and did her thing, you know, whatever.
Right.
But you know, I personally love Viola Davis, you know, as Ma Rainey, and then you know, and I'm gonna finish watching Andra Day, but all I've heard is she was that one who killed it this year in that role. And then me, I mean, I personally I really liked Carey Mulligan in Promising Young Woman. Like, girl was she was scary, man. She legit scared me. Like just in her calm demeanor with certain things, and I was like, oh man, she about this. Right. She ain't about them games, you know. But yeah, I think I could have been okay seeing someone else win rather than Frances. But and again, it's no shade, there's no hate. It's because I think she's a legend. She's great.
Right.
But, you know.
No, I'm not mad at Frances McDormand because if you watch her speech, like even she low-key didn't care. She was like, "Oh, thank you guys for this. I appreciate working," and then she howled to the moon like, "Woo!" Like, all right, she didn't care.
Yeah, it was, and I was like, and that's more stuff of what I had issues with. With just the finale of the awards is just like with some of these winners, I'm like,
it was so anticlimactic.
So yeah, Anthony Hopkins wasn't there, and then Frances McDormand, like,
so anticlimactic.
And I'm like, I'm guessing it was more so a personalized thing for the state of the film and how she did, which is that's fine. But I'm like, damn. I'm like, exactly, anticlimactic. I'm like, we waited 3 hours for that.
Right. It's crazy that Frances had a better Best Picture speech than she did have a Best Actress speech, but that's Frances McDormand. But my beef with this category, I think you kind of said it too. I'm so glad he said that. Is he said like I wish like somebody else had won. Like my beef with this category is not that Frances won, but again, the Oscars with another missed opportunity. This was a year where the Oscars could have really went out of the way to make sure they had really picked something unique in Best Actress. We haven't had a black woman win Best Actress in 19 years, since 2002 when Halle Berry won for Monsters Ball. And shout out to Halle Berry for being there too, even with her weird ass, haircut. But we've not had a black woman win Best Actress in 19 years. This could have been the year where they finally made it happen again with Viola or Andrade, and they didn't do that. But my thing is, I picked Carey Mulligan to win, because even if they didn't pick a black Best Actress, this also could have been a year where they picked Carey Mulligan, who gave a performance that has been like almost like nobody else who's won Best Actress.
It was just a different feel.
It was a different type of role, and I feel like it would have been cool. Like if a black actress was not going to win, I wanted it to be Carey, because Vanessa Kirby, even though she was amazing, was not going to win. Frances McDormand I loved, but I was like, Frances just won. She could win again in the future. But Carey Mulligan, if it's not going to be Viola Andrade, let it be Carey Mulligan, because at least Carey Mulligan gave a performance that was so unique and different, and it's outside of the scope of what usually wins Best Actress, but it didn't happen.
No, I was just like thinking about her like Carey Mulligan, the way she just transformed, because in her act, like the way she even like changed up her accent and stuff, I was like, damn, yo, she just like I've seen her in other stuff, I'm like, she sounds way different, and she definitely was great in that, man. She was great,
she was good. Carey really should have won if it was gonna be not Viola Andrade. Carey should have won. And the thing about Frances is we can give Frances props because she, unlike everyone else, she had to work with a bunch of non-actors, which is a point that we can definitely give her kudos for. That's true. It's not easy to work with a bunch of non-actors in a film, but at the end of the day, I feel like this is not the role that Frances had to win Best Actress for. Like, because I feel like she's gonna be in Macbeth this year. She's gonna have plenty of nominations to come for years. So it's like, why did this have to be the year they gave her third?
That's gonna be great, man. That Macbeth.
We were talking about. We're excited. I'm excited about that. Yeah. But yeah, man. So unless you have any other thoughts, that's pretty much our thoughts on Best Actress.
Yeah, that's my thoughts too on that one, man. So.
Frances, we're happy for you. This is obviously not Frances's fault at all. No. But the Academy, like, y'all have to stop doing this stuff. Like, it's just more of the same. Like, Anthony Hopkins is predictable as hell. The Best Actor and Best Actress felt like old school wins. Like from like the 80s, 90s, like it feels like an old school win, like, older white person who did a great performance. But in Best Actor we have Chadwick. He just died. He's given us years of amazing work. Gave the performance of a lifetime. How about we give it to him? No. And then Best Actress, Frances was great, but old white woman in her bag. That's but like
it's like it's like they give us a little bit. Give us a little bit so that we can say
exactly.
But they know what
they're doing. Give us Daniel Kaluuya. Give us a woman winning Best Director. We'll give y'all some things, but we're not gonna give.
We can't give you everything.
We can't give you everything. And it's like I'm tired of this vibe with the Oscars. Like, stop giving us, like he said, stop giving us only so much and hyping us up to make us feel like we're gonna get the real awards just to like
shut us up.
Just shut us out in the end. Like, I'm tired of this vibe. I'm tired of this trend, but
y'all wrong for that.
It's same shit, different day.
It is what
it is. All right. So that was Best Actress. Let's move on. All right, y'all. Now on to Best Supporting Actor.
Yeah, man. I think I was saying this one was this was tough. This was a pretty stacked group.
This was a great category as well.
Like, again with the fact, it was still interesting, and Bright made up a good point. It's like, I felt like Daniel shouldn't have been Best Supporting Actor in this category. He should have been obviously Best Lead. But when you think about it, if you put him in that category with the best kind of leading actors, I don't think he wins in that.
He was not.
So
not. Yeah.
I'm happy, but so with that context, I think it really changed my tune up a little bit because I'm believe me, I was happy as hell that he won because he was freaking phenomenal in that film. He was phenomenal, and Lakeith Stanfield was great too. Like I really hated him in that film, man. Like if I hate you that much in a film or you piss me off, like that means you did your job really well. You did your job really well. Leslie Odom Jr. in One Night in Miami as Sam Cooke was awesome. Loved his music, like him singing in there, obviously, because his background is as a singer, but he was great as an actor. And I think, Leslie Odom, he's just really talented. He's just as an actor, a singer.
Speak now.
I love his rendition of Born by the River. Yes, that was like I right after I watched the movie, I went and got the soundtrack off Apple Music. And I had
he's still in his soundtrack bag, yo. Y'all know my man loves a good score, he loves a good soundtrack.
Y'all know me.
He loves that shit.
But no, Sacha Baron Cohen was great too, and and Paul Raci too, and as Joe, man.
Paul Raci was a gem this season.
He was awesome in that film, man. Especially that scene, when like towards after
when we asking for money from him.
Yes, when we asked for money after he got the thing, I was like, damn, I felt that, yo.
Right.
I felt that. I was like, yeah. I can see that. I can definitely. And that was actually they showed the clip like of that scene. They showed it in the show.
They did.
And I was like,
good.
And then I was looking for that clip when I was watching the movie. I was like, okay, this was great. So, but so I got no problems. I'm happy Daniel won. I love his speech. As we said, his speech was hilarious and great at the same time. So
I love this category. I'm glad Daniel Kaluuya won. He racked up everything. This is not a surprise at all. We knew Daniel was winning,
sure,
as he should have won. I know a lot of people think like Miguel was saying that Daniel should have been a lead, and I would have been okay with that. Even though I'm happy he went supporting because he was never going to win lead. With Chadwick and Anthony Hopkins, he was never going to win lead at all, and Riz Ahmed too. So I'm glad they put him in supporting. I'm glad he won, but I'm okay with him being supporting because actually, is it Warner Bros? Yeah, Warner Bros, the studio that did that film, they wanted to campaign Lakeith Stanfield in lead, and a lot of people think Lakeith, like a lot of people like don't know who was the lead or who's supporting, and I get that, it's confusing, but I think you can completely argue that Lakeith should have been the lead, actually.
Yeah.
And they were campaigning him in lead, but they knew he was never going to get nominated. So I'm not mad he got.
So I guess you can call them co-leads co-leads and both supporting. So I guess that's you can. I'm fine with that. As if either one, I would have been fine. But I'm glad that Daniel won though. Him as Fred Hampton was freaking.
He was amazing.
Was awesome.
Daniel Kaluuya, I'm so proud of him, man. Our fellow brother is going to be someone that's going to have a healthy career for years to come. I'm so proud of him. I can't wait to see how his career continues to flourish. That man is so talented. I'm so proud. Like I love seeing like just someone that like kind of feels like is one of the guys. Like but he's so talented. He has a really good career ahead of him. I'm so excited for him. And this is gonna be the start of that. This Oscar has cemented his legacy. I'm so happy for him. Hopefully he'll be winning another one in like years later. Hopefully
a lead one. Hopefully
a lead. Like sometime in the future he'll be winning a lead. But yeah, man. My only gripe with this category is, even though I love that they put Lakeith here, I love everybody here, is I wish they had been able to squeeze Chadwick Boseman's performance into Five Bloods here.
Oh yeah,
that would have been really nice. The SAGs, they nominated him in this category, which I thought was appropriate. Like I said,
Delroy should have been somewhere in there.
And we were talking about that before we started filming. Delroy Lindo, we are still mad that he was snubbed in Best Actor, especially when Gary Oldman's dry ass was here. No one, like, I respect Gary Oldman, and I love his talent, but his role in Mank did not need to be nominated at all.
Yeah, I was fine without that.
Yeah, Delroy should have been there in his place, but whatever, we'll get over it. But not really, but but yeah, other than that, I thought this was a great category. I'm happy for Daniel, and that's all I got. I love this category. Shout out to Daniel Kaluuya.
Yeah, shout out to you, brother.
Congrats, bro. All right, y'all, now on to Best Supporting Actress. So this is a category I was very happy about as soon as the SAGs happened, because I told you guys from day one I always wanted Yoon, Ye Jung-yoon, to win this category. Ye Jung-yoon's performance in Minari was one of my favorite moments of this award season. I loved her role as the grandma in that movie. She was so dope. Right, she felt like she was my grandma. She was so funny. She was so dope. Her acting in that movie was incredible. So I was always rooting for her, but she didn't really pick up any steam until she won the SAG, and then she won the BAFTA, and I was like, oh god, she's it.
She's coming.
And then she finally won it, and she's been like everyone's favorite person this whole award season, as she should have, because she's so adorable and funny. So I'm so happy she won. Her speech was so funny. A lot of people I know a lot of people thought Maria Bakalova could take it. I thought there was a chance that could happen, but when Maria Bakalova never won the Globe, SAG, like, which never won any precursors, I was like, it's kind of a done deal. Yeah. I always thought she could maybe like sneak up and take it as a spoiler, but I'm glad you won.
Yeah, I'm good with that. I would have been upset she didn't win. I really liked her.
Yeah, Maria Bakalova. This is a Welcome to the Club nomination. Yes, she'll be here for years to come. This is a Welcome to the Club. Glenn Close, Queen, legend. I would have personally been okay with her winning for her first Oscar. Imagine, after all these years, for this role. But at the end of the day, I think a lot of people in the Oscars, and fairly so, want her to win her first Oscar for probably, hopefully, for Best Actress and for a really good role that's not just a grandma. You know what I'm saying? And I get that. And Glenn Close, she won an honorary Oscar by shaking her ass to the butt. So she already got that. That's her Oscar right there. She got it. Like, she won an Oscar for Best Live Action Short Film for that. So that's her Oscar this year. She won that.
Olivia Colman, she was good. She was good in The Father, man. She was great.
I know he loved The Father. Talk about Olivia Colman.
No, she was great, man. She was really like I felt like I really felt her like. As,
you felt her,
like her pain that she had, like that I don't know that thing, like, as any like child, would have with
like you can't control what's happening.
You can't control that with, and you feel like you're anchored down with the situation of life, you know, when having lost her sister, and then her dad, losing her dad. It's like she felt that weight of like, I can't leave him, but but I want to live my life. She has to live her life, even as an older and I think a lot it felt. For people, older folks, I'm sure it's very relatable to that. So I definitely felt that, and I really enjoyed her in that film. So
no, I agree, bro. I thought Olivia Colman was great. I think a lot of people really loved The Father because it was kind of like a late release, so it really surged late in this award season. A lot of people love the movie because a lot of people can relate to it, having parents who are dealing with dementia or
grandparents
or Alzheimer's. Like a lot of people can relate to that, and I think a lot of people can relate to being Anthony Hopkins or being Anne and Olivia Colman's character. And like you said, like I thought Olivia really did that role justice. And I know a lot of people thought like she could potentially win throughout the award season, but she didn't really pick up any precursors, so she was never gonna win. But I would have been happy if she ended up being the winner this season. But she just won an Oscar like last year, 2 years ago. So like, she didn't need it this year.
Well, congrats on the nomination.
Yeah, shout out to Yo Jung Yoon, and Amanda Seyfried. I was cool her being nominated. I know he didn't think she was like that great at Meg. I loved her in Meg. I thought she was worthy of the nomination.
Yeah, thinking about it again, like I think she was good. I think like really thinking about it again, like I would say she was more so the highlight of that film. Like compared to Gary Oldman and,
I agree,
and the other folks. So I think thinking about it again, I don't really have much of an issue with her. Okay. But I don't think she was he capping for the camera. He was like, she's trash. He's capping for the camera. No, I like Amanda Seyfried, man.
No, I'm messing with
Amanda Seyfried. And we go back to Letters to Juliet. You know what I'm saying, from back then. But she was good, but I don't think I would have been upset if she did win though.
Yes, definitely. She should not have won. This is another Welcome to the Club nomination. A lot of Welcome to the Club nominations happened this year for a lot of people.
Absolutely.
But yeah, so that's Best Supporting Actress. Yo Jung Yoon, we are so proud of you. Amazing, congratulations. Also, I think she's the first, or I want to say first Korean, but second Asian woman to win an actress. Awesome. I think, which is sad, but so amazing for her to achieve that achievement.
It's bittersweet.
It's bittersweet, yeah. But I'm so happy for her, and she's like, it's also very rare. Like, she's old. She's really old too. So it's like, I feel like if actually, I guess that makes sense for an older Asian person to win, because I don't see the Oscars giving a young Asian person like a Steven Yeun an Oscar, like especially on their first run of it. I don't see that happening, but I guess maybe her age did help a lot. But the role was amazing. It wasn't about her age.
But even that comment is it's kind of upsetting. Like, just to think of that, like, it's like, somebody, a younger folk, just because they most likely won't give that. It's like, just when you're thinking about that in context, like, that's really trash.
The only time young people really win at the Oscars is when it's a young white woman. I think historically that's really, the Oscars love giving Oscars to young white actresses. But if you're a man or if you're not white, you're most likely winning when you're really older. Yeah. Which is something I've noticed. And it's a sad trend, but it's understandable. Not understandable, but I get why, but it's not right. Yeah. All right, so that was Best Supporting Actress. Yeah. We love Yo Jung Young. Shout out to you. Congrats. All right, now we're on to Best Original Screenplay. We're going to speed through the rest of these categories because we feel like we don't have much to really talk about the rest of these. But first up, we have Best Original Screenplay. I'm happy for Emerald Fennell, Promising Woman. I think we both thought she should have won. I have no qualms in this category. I would have loved an upset by Judas and the Black Messiah or Sound of Metal because those movies were some of our favorites as well this season. But Promising Woman, I definitely thought deserved this Oscar. That script was so creative. The story was so creative.
And it's a powerful message.
It is.
That film had a lot of powerful undertones in there. And again, so if you haven't seen it, definitely check that out. You'll definitely see what we're talking about. It's definitely
for sure.
I was like, okay, yeah, I get that.
Yeah, man. Promising Woman was a gem this season. I thought it would have been a cool upset for Best Picture as well.
Yeah.
Because I thought, if you notice, Best Picture and Best Screenplay always usually line up. Not every year. It didn't happen this year, but it usually lines up. So I thought with this winning Best Original Screenplay that it could probably upset for Best Picture. But Nomadland won, which is no surprise. But yeah, man. Emerald Fennell, when she won the WGA, I was like, yeah, she's definitely got this award on lock. And she killed it. So shout out to Emerald Fennell. We love Promising Woman. Great script.
Big fact.
And now on Best Adapted Screenplay, which is one of the categories I was watching all night because I predicted Nomadland because, like I said before, picture and screenplay usually always line up. Yeah. But this is one of the rare years where the Best Picture winner did not win screenplay. And a lot of people have predicted The Father to win Best Screenplay because it won the BAFTA, but I think it won a lot of other screenplay precursors. And I'm cool with this win because I thought The Father script was amazing, but I really did think that Nomadland was going to take it because it won Best Picture. But I guess this is one of those years where I also say, you know what, Nomadland will win picture anyways. Let's give The Father something. Yeah. So this is where they're awarded.
Yeah, The Father definitely was really good, man. I can't even lie. So.
Yeah. Any other thoughts on The Father?
No, I'm pretty like to the point on that one.
Yeah, he loved The Father, so I'm surprised you got more to say. But no, I mean, it's a pretty simple win.
No, I think it was really simple. It's just like it was really a great script.
Great story.
Like it takes you on a journey that it really throws you off a little bit. It does. Had me jumping a little bit to it later on. I'm like, and then, but it was good.
And a lot of that was the writing, the way they set the story. Yeah. So a lot of the power of that movie came from the way they wrote it.
Would have loved to see the play now. Like,
I know, right? I know, right? You know? All right, y'all. Shout out to Christopher Hampton and Florian Zeller for Best Actor Screenplay. Yes. The Father definitely deserved it. Congrats, y'all.
Yes.
All right, y'all. Now we're on Best Animated Feature Film.
So I'm gonna keep this real short. Like for me, I'm happy as hell. So so I don't know, man. That movie had me like emotional, and I think it was also, and it goes to the the music. I think the component of jazz, like they talked about, and I love jazz. So I think that what they said that this film in the core in the beginning was a love story to jazz. Like, and I love the fact that when you're talking about a love story to jazz, like it's a beautiful thing. But then as you continue when you watch that film, it's so it just it makes you really reflect on life and living and enjoying life, and how deep and how simple and deep that is at the same time. And it's such a beautiful simplicity to that. So I don't know, I think I just found myself like, man, this movie just hit. It definitely hit, and I'm happy that it won. I mean, I had personally, I know a lot of people too have talked about how good Onward was.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Onward was really a great film. Yeah. But I'm happy as hell that Soul won. So.
Yeah, I fully agree. I was gonna mention that I watched. I have not seen Shaun the Sheep or Wolfwalkers, but I watched everything else. Over the movie was a vibe. Onward was also another great movie that I loved as well. I thought it had a really beautiful story. But for sure, I'm glad Soul won. Soul had, to me, the best animation. It had the best story, and like he said, it had the best score. The music really drove that film, and visually was stunning. It had such a unique story, and I just thought it was really done well. I thought like this is a movie that gets everyone to think about their lives, what they want their lives, how their lives are going, and not in a bad way where you're like, what am I gonna do with my life, but in a way where you feel inspired, where you're like, okay,
like, where you're trying to figure out purpose. Like, it's like, and I think it's a beautiful message of like, of even as we're getting older, it's like, it's never too late to figure out the purpose of why we're here and what we're trying to do, and I think
that's a bar. That's a word, because I'm thinking about, I'm going through that right now. Like I'm going through that right now where I'm like, what do I want my next steps to be? Like, we're all going through that, and it's like constantly. And
as the main character, he's someone who's older, right? Like, and he was still like, going through this journey in this film. Right. He was figuring that out for him, and I think And I think that's a beautiful message to do that in that film, and I'm glad. Like I said, I'm very happy that it won. And when I first saw it, I was like, yeah, this definitely is gonna be up there. It's gonna be gonna be nominated.
It was always the front runner. It's won everything all season.
Yeah,
you know?
Once it came out, I was like, yeah, there's I don't care what else they drop for animated best. For
it's gonna be it's
gonna be it. So.
Another win for Pixar. Pixar has been in its bag pretty much the entire 20th century. I think this is their 11th win in best animated feature film. Like Pixar is always killing it.
I don't know
this
how.
is another,
I don't know how they just keep dropping.
They just keep dropping.
It's just wins.
And I don't know if it's Pixar that has Luca this year.
Yeah, they do.
But, yo, we need to talk about this, bro. I am so excited for Luca coming out in June. Luca looks so good. I cannot wait to watch that film. You know, I'm so excited for Luca.
Pixar doesn't miss, man.
Pixar, I don't know how another notch on the belt. Shout out to the Pixar team. Shout out to the Soul team. Great win. Congrats, guys.
I mean, I definitely got to talk to you about it, but you know, the folks at Pixar, I know, like when it comes to Luca, they're definitely upset because of the way Disney's handling that, because of the way they release of that.
Streaming on Disney Plus.
Yeah, because they just felt like it's not gonna get the kind of the love that it needs to get.
It was in theaters.
Yeah, you know. So.
And I get that. The thing is, I get that, but it's also hard because the panorama is not close to being over because y'all keep playing around. Y'all don't want to wear y'all mask. Y'all don't want to social distance. You know what I'm saying? But you know the panorama's not over. So. Yeah. And also, like, a lot of kids are like, they're watching a lot of stuff on Disney Plus, so it makes sense that we'll go to Disney Plus. But I do feel like Lucas should have been in theaters, but the panorama not over, yo.
But I'm excited to see that one out.
Right.
So
shout out to
Pixar. Y'all y'all don't know how to miss.
Right.
Y'all are just straight buckets out here, man.
I just love that this movie was like, it wasn't a movie that was talking about like figuring out your purpose. It was just talking about like just living life and just being cool with that. Right. It's not a lot of movies that really get into that bag of like, I feel like a lot of movies are trying to like tell you like to like find your purpose, and that's cool. But it's like, it's so refreshing to see a movie that was talking about just living your life.
Yeah, it's like, you know, you live, you know, it's like living like it's. You're trying to figure out when you're living your life that even the things that you do on a daily basis, that like
they still matter.
They matter. You grow to appreciate them when you really sit back and think. It's like being able to have a conversation. You know, even this. You know, us being able to do this, like that. Sometimes you wonder. You know, you don't even get to sometimes think about that. But when you really think of it in retrospect, it's like. It's a beautiful thing to be able to do that, to have to do that with that, or spend time with your loved ones, your friends, like those things that you don't think about it, like you think that is whatever, but in reality, it's like things are, you grow to appreciate those things because they can be going just like that.
Right. So. Stop hyping me, bro. I know I'm lit. It's okay. Stop gassing me. I know I'm lit. Like, it's okay. I know you love spending time with me. It's okay.
I love this dude, man. This is my brother.
It's my guy. Okay.
I don't even forget, baby.
We never forget.
Don't forget that, baby. Don't forget that.
All right, man. So that was we definitely got it one. Let's move on. Next category is Best International Feature Film. We're not gonna spend a long time on this one. Shout out to another round one for Denmark. That was directed by Thomas Vinterberg. We knew he was definitely going to take this category because he's nominated for Best Director. Yeah. And even though I don't think either of us have seen any of these movies, we're not xenophobic at all. We just have not. We be busy, and we've not found time to watch the movies. But we appreciate all honest, international films.
And for me, it's just more so just getting the exposure to these films. Like, honestly, a lot of times I don't get the exposure. I don't find out until like, oh, it's Oscar season. Or like these award seasons. Like, I wish there was a way to get more of that. Like, so they'd be like, okay, this is one I need to really check out.
Right.
International films I'll watch, man. I love watching them. Like, hell, I mean, even when I go back to, for the Dominican films that I watch at home, like, they can be a little cheesy corn, but I love watching them. Man, so it's more about just getting that exposure to those,
Exactly. And Parasite won last year, which we both talked about last year, that we both loved. Awesome. But yeah, man, I think that's actually been a constant conversation that's been happening recently with a lot of like people who follow movies, is the push to really get international films more into like the American zeitgeist of what's happening, and I agree with that. I love that because I love international films. I don't mind subtitles. I can read. You know what I'm saying? Like, and so many beautiful stories are told through international films. But a lot of times Americans don't get to watch them because they're just not being promoted to us. They're not, thankfully, we're thankful for the ones that are on Netflix and other streaming platforms. But if you're not on a streaming platform, a lot of times these movies are not really accessible to you. So. But yeah, shout out to Another Round. I know that's been like the movie that was like favorite to win by a lot of people. A lot of people love that film. I know a lot of people also loved Quo Vadis Aida. I've not seen that one either, but I know a lot of people love that one. So shout out to that. I've been trying to see if I can catch these movies at some point. I know Another Round is on Hulu, so I'm gonna see if I can watch it at some point.
Yeah, so I could definitely put that on.
Yeah, I'll try to watch it on Hulu. But yeah, shout out to Another Round team and Thomas Winterberg. Shout out to you. Next category is Best Documentary Feature. Real quick as well. I don't think Miguel has seen my Octopus Teacher. I saw it it's on Netflix. I loved it. I thought it was amazing. I actually watched it like the weekend before the Oscars happened. So like that weekend, I watched it like right before the Oscars, and I loved it. I also I've not seen any of the other ones, but I know probably a lot of good things about Crip Camp and Time. I plan to watch this at some point. I heard the Mulligan was good too, but My Octopus Teacher was definitely a really beautiful documentary about the connection that this man built with this one octopus in the sea near his house. And it was such an interesting story. It was such a trippy like experience watching it. It was so weird, but it was a beautiful like movie. It was a documentary. It was a beautiful experience, and like definitely I ain't mad at it won, but I know a lot of people were like Crip Camp should have won or Time should have won, and I'm cool with that because I know what those documentaries are about. Because they feel more like heavy. You know, Crip Camp is talking about like kids with disabilities. Time is about like I think a woman who had to like deal with having her husband in jail for like being guilty for something he didn't do, having to like raise her kids on her own for like years. Like in that's a classic American story. So I think a lot of people wanted those to win because they're more timely and they have heavier concepts. Whereas My Octopus Teacher is just talking about a man who has like a friendship with an octopus. But it was a really beautiful documentary. It really was a really trippy, beautiful documentary. So I'll leave it at that. I'm glad it won. Definitely deserved it. Shout out to that movie. Next category is Best Documentary Short Subject. We have not seen any of these either, so we don't have a lot to talk about. But I know A Love Song for Latasha was actually favorite to win this category, and I saw it on Netflix too. It's like a 20-minute documentary about this girl named Latasha. I forgot her name. I think it was like I forgot her name, Latasha Harling or something like that. She was the girl, if you guys remember, if you're that old, if you remember the girl who was shot down by a woman who owned like a convenience store, an Asian woman who owned a convenience store in LA back in '92 or back in '91 or whatever. That which is a big part of what led to the LA riots of '92. So that documentary was pretty much talking about like her life and like how she was like an innocent girl and like how it was such a common thing back in the day for that to be happening in LA all the time. So like that was really nice documentary, and I know a lot of people thought it was gonna win, but Colette won. I'm not seeing Colette, but I know a lot of people said that was a good one as well. So shout out to Colette for winning this category. Next category I want to talk about, I think you can talk a little bit here, is Best Live Action Short Film. I've not seen any of these besides Two Distant Strangers on Netflix. Well, shout out to Netflix for giving us accessibility to these type of things, you know. Two Distant Strangers was amazing. I don't think he's watched it yet, but I know he's heard about it.
Yeah, I've heard. I mean, that's the one I've heard about the most. I know because there's been a couple NBA players. I know Kevin Durant and Mike Conley Jr. served as executive producers on this film too. So
as well as like Diddy and Dan Lathan. So a lot of people did help this film.
Big names were in it, so it definitely. I mean, I'm glad to see that one because I know it was a pretty powerful film in there. So I'm definitely happy to see that.
Yeah, you definitely should watch it, bro. Shout out to Trayvon Free and Martin Wolf for directing it. I'm proud of y'all. So I know a lot of people didn't want to watch this short film because they thought it was triggering because of what it's talking about with the black man getting shot by a cop over and over again, like in a Groundhog Day format. I totally get it. As a black man, I was like, do I really want to watch this? But at the same time, I'm glad I did because even though it's triggering, it was really, I thought they really explored the concept of police brutality in a really unique way. More so than I don't think anyone's tackled this issue in our society in such a unique way before, with it being like in a Groundhog Day format. I thought it was interesting, and a lot of people didn't like the ending because they thought the ending was anticlimactic or because like it was unrealistic. But at the end of the day, what other type of ending would you want? I don't want to like spoil it, but like what other type of ending would you want? There's really no, as a society, we have no clear solutions as to how most black men and women, or just people of color who are trying to innocently go about their day, can avoid being gunned down by people who are supposed to be protecting and serving them. There's no clear solution for that. So at the end of the day, I don't know why you'd want there to be a clear solution in a movie about that. I liked how they left it open-ended at the end because that's really our reality. There's really no solution right now, and we're all trying to figure it out as a society. Whether you're white or black, we're all trying to figure out how we can make sure that we're all working to make sure that we have less Dante rights and less, all these murders are happening. We want to have less of these, less George Floyd's, but we have no solution. So I like how this short film like represented that with its ending. You'll get what I'm saying once you watch it. You'll get what I'm saying. But yeah, I really wanted to watch it. Really good film. I loved it. I thought it was amazing. Shout out to Joey Badass for getting into his acting back. I had no idea like he was like a good actor like that. He did his thing. I loved it. He was amazing.
Joey Badass, man.
Shout out Joey Badass. He's such a multifaceted dude. Such underrated rapper that y'all sleeping on. Can rap his ass off. He's good music.
I remember when I got put onto him back when I was in college and for his 1999 mixtape.
Yes. Joey Badass, y'all need to stop playing with him.
Facts.
And now he's out here in Hollywood doing this thing. Shout out to him. Last category in the shorts, we're going to talk about best animated short film. Unfortunately, we've not seen any of these as well. But I do know that there's a lot of talk about If Anything Happens, I Love You winning. And they did win this category, so shout out to that one. I know what it's about, but I've not seen it yet. It's about school shootings pretty much. And I heard it was really beautiful and really touching. So I'm glad it won, even though I've not seen it yet. I know a lot of people talk about like Burrow winning too, but I've not seen. I've not seen any of these. The short film, documentary, these are not our bag, y'all. But we're just reviewing for y'all. But but shout out to If Anything Happens, I Love You winning. I love what it's talking about. Hopefully I can catch it at some point.
Agree.
And now we're on best original score.
I mean, for me, I personally haven't listen to the News of the World, but it was good. James Newton Howard, who was a legend in the game. Love his work with Hans Zimmer for the Dark Knight soundtrack from back in the way.
This is his bag. I'm telling y'all.
Minari, I really enjoyed their score too. Listening throughout, it was really good. Mank. I like Manx a little bit. I actually was listening to the track the other day from the ending, which I really liked, which was a nice little vibe. But I mean, and it's got that old school feel, so I always like those old school like tracks. And then the Five Bloods, like I was telling Bright, I always liked Spike Lee film like soundtracks and their scores. They're always really good. One of them I always loved, like for example, back in He Got Game, when he uses Aaron Copland's like scores, like soundtrack music from like that old school stuff, but brings it in, is really some of my favorites. And then, but at the end of the day, I'm very happy Soul won. Because of course it has the jazz feel to it. Jazz, of course, when from film that's about, again, a love letter to jazz, and you have jazz components, you're not gonna get an argument from me. Like I said, I'm not gonna battle. No, I'm totally happy with that. And shout out to Trent Reznor, Atticus Ross, and John Batiste. Y'all did y'all thing with that. And then, I just realized, Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross were both double nominees. I was like, wait a minute,
they were gonna win regardless.
So they were winning regardless. So exactly. So that's why I did. No wonder I found I like Manx a bit as well. So, but so I'm at the end of the day, I'm happy Soul won. Definitely deserved it. So.
Yeah, man.
We'll go with that.
I ain't got much else to add. Shout out to Soul for winning best score as well. One of the few animated films to win 2 Oscars besides this animated feature, which it definitely deserved. And shout out to Terrence Blanchard for being nominated for The Five Bloods, like you said. Shout out to Terrence Blanchard working with Spike Lee. That was a surprise nomination, but I'm glad he definitely got it because he deserved it.
Well, even though The Five Bloods needed some more love this
year.
We'll leave it at that's all we're gonna say on that.
All right. Oscars. The Five Bloods, what happened? All right. But yeah, so definitely I'm glad it won. That score is beautiful, jazzy. It was so breathtaking. It really did level up the film in great ways. So I'm glad it won, for sure. And now we're on Best Original Song. So I'm going to take this one because I'm hyped for this one. I know a lot of y'all are mad, and I'm actually mad at myself because I didn't predict it. You know what's funny? I actually wanted to predict it low-key, but I was like, nah, 5 is not going to win. I was like, it's going to go to Speak Now or maybe Low CC, ELCC. But I'm hella glad that her and D-Ma and Tara Thomas won for Fight For You. Judas and Black Messiah. I know a lot of y'all are mad because y'all want Husavik to win. Husavik is a really cute song. It's nice. It's cute. I appreciate it.
If y'all mad, stay mad.
But come on, like Fight For You is a bop. It's a banger. Like it's a good song. Lyrically, it's great. I know a lot of people thought that like Fight For You and Hear My Voice and Speak Now were interchangeable, but I think that's a really whack type of way to think. That's really whack because they all are songs that like talking about like social justice and like level, like civil rights and that type of stuff. But they all take a different approach. Fight For You was a banger. Hear My Voice is like a really like nice orchestral ballad. Speak Now was a really cool original song that's kind of like a typical like end credit song for like that type of movie. Like they all have a different vibe. So it's like I don't I didn't like people clumping them up or like, oh, these are like the black like social justice songs. Like that's whack. Yeah. Even besides that, I'm hella glad that Fight Fee won from Juice Black Messiah. Great song. Her is now an Oscar winner at like 23 years old. D-Mile, who's one of my favorite producers of all time. I tell this again and again. D-Mile is one of my favorite producers of all time, and now he has an Oscar. I'm so happy for him. D-Mile has been killing it. Like, listen, if y'all know who D-Mile is, I don't even know. I like producers for Her, yeah. Lucky Day, Victoria Monet. Like, he's one of the best R&B producers in the game right now, and I'm so happy for him winning an Oscar now for this great song. Shout out to her. Like, I'm just happy. I love the song, and I'm glad it won. I predicted Speak Now because I thought Speak Now was going to take in the end because the Oscars love Leslie Odom Jr. And I thought it'd be a great way to give One Night in Miami something. But I guess the Oscars said,
I guess not.
But One Night in Miami, I guess they said One Night in Miami they can kiss ass. But I really am cool how this category shaked out. Same. I know a lot of people thought EOC Scene was going to win because of Diane Warren. Like I said, a lot of people wanted Houston to win, but
I'm happy with this one.
Yeah,
I got. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm happy.
He's like, I'll let Bright do the whole segment.
No, because I mean, I know somebody who loves her. Like, Bright really loves her music, so like, you know, whatever. But but yes, the music she has is, and I remember when we went to go see Chris Brown and she opened,
man. Man.
3-4
we went to Chris Brown and her. Chris Brown had a concert with her and Jacquees, a lot of people. We saw her together, and then 2 years later, now Her has won an Oscar, and she also has a new song with Chris Brown too. Yeah, isn't that funny? Yeah, man.
Yeah, it was 3-4 years ago.
Yeah, 3 years ago. Yeah. So shout out to her, man. I love this category. I know a lot of y'all are mad because y'all wanted Houston to win. A lot of people really wanted Houston to win. Yeah, Houston won the Guild, so I thought it could spoil, but Fire Fee was a great song. So y'all can stay mad. Fire Fee was a great song. I'm sorry. That's me. I love that song. That's all I'll say about that. Yeah. Bye. All right, y'all. Now we're on to Best Sound.
Yeah, I think Best Sound, honestly, Sound of Metal, I figured it was going to win. I think.
For sure.
We're talking about Sound of Metal, the music, and like, or sometimes even the lack thereof sound.
Right,
which was really good. Like, the having this, like, the sound of like more so the silence was really built a lot of tension and anxiousness,
which is just as important.
Which is like I said, it's interesting. The best sound is great with the lack thereof sometimes, but I have no problem with that. There's really no argument for me in that. I think that was great.
I agree with Miguel. Like, I think Sound of Metal won. I think it was winning like all the precursors. It won Cinema Audio Society Awards. It won BAFTA, I think.
Yeah, those technical awards was really good. Yeah.
The sound design in Sound of Metal. It's funny because I always thought this category was going to go to something else because Sound of Metal was like a really quiet film when the season first started. But I'm glad it ended up coming through the ranks and winning this category because the sound design in Sound of Metal was always so amazing. Like, you felt like you were losing your hearing watching the film, and it helped you to like immerse yourself into what I think his name was Ben. What Ben was going through. Oh no, sorry, Ruben. Ruben was going through in that movie. Like, the sound design really helped with that. So I'm sorry. I'm definitely glad it won.
Man, I said that. I was like, damn. Sometimes I was like, yo, this is like, I was kind of made me nervous. Like, I was really stressed from that, but it was good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I'm glad it won.
Yeah, so Sound of Metal definitely deserved to win this category. And we're happy it did. All right, so we're gonna skip ahead to Best Film Editing, and we're doing so because Sound of Metal also won this category, which I did not predict. I thought Trial of the Chicago 7 was gonna take this category because I feel like the Oscars usually tend to like give the movie that had like the fastest editing, like a lot of cuts and a lot of, which Trial was that. So that's why I predicted it, and I think Trial also won. It won the Eddie Awards, like the Editing Guild Awards. So it won the Eddie for this year. So I thought, okay, it won the Guild, it'll win this. But Sound of Metal won the BAFTA for this category, I think. So again, the BAFTAs, they were on it this year. They knew what they were doing this year. Shout out to the British. Y'all went in y'all bag this year.
But yeah, no, I think that was with editing. I think I
felt kind of tied into the sound.
Tied into the sound. It felt like, but also I don't know. I just felt like that film just kind of, I don't know, with editing, it just, I don't know, it just kind of just played, like, just let things breathe, like, a bit, you know, just things just kind of moved. And
so you think you like that, or you think it was
I liked that. I liked it. I just, just felt like, you just let it kind of roll, do this thing. So I'm good with that.
Yeah, I feel like I should have predicted Sound of Metal in this category because a lot of people have been noticing, like, who do like Oscar predictions, like they've been saying that, and it's kind of true. A lot of times in the past few years, like, the sound and editing categories usually go hand in hand, which is something I didn't really think about. But it kind of like last year it was Ford v Ferrari. It won editing and sound. Like editing and sound usually go hand in hand usually, which kind of makes sense if you think about it. But I just thought Child would win because like, you know, it's fast paced, all that type of stuff. But I'm not mad Sound of Metal won because the editing was great too. I'm definitely glad it won as well. Sound of Metal won 2 Oscars, and I love that film. I'm so glad it did. Oh man, and in A Quiet Year, shit, Resume could have taken it too. Shit, but yeah, it's all good. All right, and now on to Best Production Design, which went to Mank, as we all knew it would, because Mank, even if you didn't like that film, which a lot of people didn't, I didn't love that film. The one thing I did love about it, besides the cinematography, was the amazing production design. It was a beautiful film to watch.
Yes, it was. You know, you definitely felt like you were in the 30s and 40s, like in the black and white aspects, like all of that. And you know, I guess we could touch with the cinematography as well. Like, you know, both of that. It was very well done. It was, you know, it really looked nice, and you know, and you really felt like you were. It was a timepiece, like you were in that time period. So I really don't have an issue with that. I mean, I guess for production design, maybe Ma Rainey a little bit, because of the time period and stuff. But I'm good with Mank on winning on both of those. So.
Yeah, I think Ma Rainey was second in line for production design. It was definitely going to be the one that was going to spoil if Mank didn't win. But Mank was winning all season, so we all knew, and definitely deserved to win. And he's right. Let's just go on to cinematography. So for best cinematography, Mank also won. Oh yeah, another interesting thing about this year, as you'll see right here, a lot of movies won 2 Oscars. Like 6 movies won 2 Oscars this year, which is interesting. Like we didn't have one movie that won like 4 or 5.
No, we didn't have. It was a lot of.
It was well balanced.
Yeah, it was balanced. It was parody. Like it wasn't like
right. A lot of movies won 2 Oscars. Nomadland won 3, but a lot of other movies that won more than 1, everybody won 2, which is interesting. I thought Mank was gonna lose cinematography to Nomadland because a lot of people, I was pulling for Nomadland because I thought, even though Mank's cinematography was amazing, I just thought Nomadland's was just like a little bit better. It was a little bit more memorable, and it hit your heart a little bit more. Because even though like Mank's cinematography was, I think it won the award because, you know, I feel like the Oscars love black and white. But at the same time, even though Nomadland was in color, that cinematography was just gorgeous. You know what I'm saying? It was gorgeous.
I don't know. Just of like the mountain, getting those mountain views, and just the landscape and everything. I think I
should have won.
I agree.
Yeah, I don't think a lot of people were mad that Mank took this award, but I think a lot of people
make an argument. You could definitely make a strong argument for Nomadland.
Yeah, of course. So shout out to Mank for winning those 2 Oscars. It won more Oscars than Citizen Kane, which is funny. Isn't that funny? And now let's move on to the 2 categories that Ma Rainey's Black Bottom won. Let's start off with Best Makeup and Hairstyling, which Ma Rainey's Black Bottom won. It's funny. I always thought that Chadwick was going to be one of the main locks in this movie. And I never thought I was going to see Ma Rainey only walking away with technical categories. I thought I was going to win at least 1 acting category, but it didn't happen. But we definitely was going to win Best Makeup and Hairstyling.
And Costume Design.
Yeah, for sure. Like when you see what they did with makeup and hairstyling and costume on Viola, on Chadwick, and all the other supporting actors, it was amazing work.
Yeah, I definitely, I got no beef with that, I think.
Yeah, man.
If there was, like, I know Bryce said, you know, he figured one of them would have won for the acting, but at least for those, I felt like those were going to be, like, pretty close to shoo-ins for those. For sure. Ones, so.
I think in makeup and hairstyling, a lot of people thought that maybe Hillbilly Elegy could upset because of Glenn Close's transformation. Maybe Pinocchio, because Pinocchio had a lot of, like, technical makeup and all that stuff.
But nope.
But the thing is, like, I don't think Pinocchio's been released in the US yet. Like, I don't know why the Pinocchio is nominated when it's not even, I think it's been released internationally, but it's not been released in the US yet. So I'm surprised it got nominated for Oscars, but it's all good. Yeah, but I'm definitely glad I already won makeup and hairstyling for sure. I'm glad I won costume design. Shout out to Anne Roth, legendary costume designer. I think this is her 2nd Oscar. Her first since like something I think in the 90s, I think. Jeez. So shout out to Anne Roth for winning. She did amazing work on Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. The costuming was amazing. I know a lot of people thought that maybe Emma could upset because Emma had like, you know, a lot of British, you know, like old, you know, like 18th, 17th century costuming, which tends to win a lot of the Oscars for stuff like that. But Ma Rainey's Black Bottom was like, it might not have been as like expansive as like Emma, but it was, I just think it was more vibrant, if that makes sense. You know, I think it was more deserving of the Oscar.
Definitely agree.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
We felt like those were
good wins.
Good wins.
Yeah, good wins. Shout out to the Mom team. Good wins. Shout out to costume and makeup. Y'all killed it. That was where Mom was always going to be in his bag, was with costume and makeup and hairstyling. So I'm glad it won those Oscars.
Y'all still messed up. You already know.
We did have a conversation about the best picture snub and the best adapted screenplay snub, but I'm glad it won these 2 Oscars at least.
That's fine.
And now for the last category we'll talk about, and that is best visual effects. So we've been talking, like we talked last summer about Tenet. We both had interesting thoughts about Tenet. We don't need to go into it now.
Yeah.
Tenet was a mess, but also I'm very like...
But I'm good with the visual aspects.
One, yeah.
I'm good. Like I told Bright,
yeah,
any movie where you can film a fight going backwards, like constantly going backwards in time, and it still kind of makes visually it makes sense, like what you're watching. I'm not gonna argue with you with that. I think yeah, you know, it definitely had its issues, because good thing it wasn't nominated for any sound, because because sound, that was a no-go. You definitely gotta watch something with the subtitles on to make sense of it. But no, but visually I think it was a really awesome movie. And I mean, that's Christopher Nolan for you. That's his films. If all else fails with that,
he gonna get best visual effects.
Visual effects. He's gonna get there. He's gonna make really visually pleasing films. And this one, the only other movies I've seen in that category is Mulan. But I'm okay with Tenet winning. So
yeah.
So I'm
I agree, bro. I think there's a chance that Midnight Sky could upset.
Yeah.
I think it's on Netflix, I think, if you want to watch it.
Okay.
It's like a space movie.
Okay.
But yeah, it's kind of been there, done that with Midnight Sky. A lot of people thought it could upset, but I'm definitely glad that Tenet won. You know, visually, you know, explosions, the backward thing, just a lot of cool effects throughout the movie. Definitely had the most effects.
And that's the thing too. And a lot of the stuff he does is practical effects.
Yes.
So it's like, they really drove a plane into
that thing. Yeah, they really did that. Yeah, man.
Like they really did that, So those things are which makes it even better. Like when you're watching those things, it's like, oh, these are things they actually did. It's just however they manipulated it to look backwards or whatever. But these are things they really did. So
for sure.
I'm good with that.
Yeah, man. Big Chris Nolan fan over here.
Yeah.
And Tenet was maybe not his best film, but definitely deserved this Oscar. Yeah. I'm glad it won. I think it also won because it was the most seen movie in this category, and I think it did win the Visual Effects Society Awards. I think it did win some awards. I'm not sure. But I also love Mulan as well, but I knew it wasn't gonna win.
No, I don't think it was up in that type of light to compete with Tenet. Honestly.
Yeah, it wasn't going to.
And when we talk about space, like even Christopher Nolan, he threw
right? Yeah,
he threw down that gauntlet for talking 7 years ago with Interstellar, which is still, I love watching that film. It's confusing as hell. It can be a little bit confusing.
Confusing.
But it's visually, again, it's a great movie to watch. And it's another one I enjoy. So
yeah, man. So yeah, shout out to Tenet. I'm glad y'all won at least one award. And that is it for our roundup of the categories, man. That's it. So yeah, man, that was our review of the 2021 Oscars. I loved doing this with my boy Miguel, my favorite fool in the world. I love this guy right here. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like, this is my guy right here. I appreciate him for coming through. Thank you, Miguel. Anything you want to say before we end off?
Nah, man. I think we really touched upon everything. We appreciate y'all tuning in, watching. I appreciate you, having me on as always.
Anytime, bro.
We'll get to do it again. Hopefully next year. Hopefully we won't be upset in certain things, which we probably will.
Every year is gonna
happen. But I think overall, really a lot of really great films in it this year. Glad some of the ones got the love that they did. Others we wish got some more love. But I guess that's just the name of the game. But
man.
But thank y'all, thank you, and this is awesome.
Appreciate you, bro. Thank you to Miguel for coming through.
Always.
I thought this was a really interesting Oscars year. This is the first. I don't think next year will count, but at least this was the year where the Oscars happened during COVID-19. So it's interesting to see how things shaked out. It's going to be a very memorable one because of that. And it's sad that Chadwick couldn't win But at the end of the day, a lot of great things happened. There was a lot of fair, distribution of awards, which was great to see. It would have been nice to see One Night Miami win something, but it's okay. But yeah, a lot of good stuff happened. I'm interested to see how next year will shake out. I'm excited for, what are things you're excited for next year? I'm excited for West Side Story, In the Heights.
I was gonna say In the Heights. I'm definitely excited, and West Side Story.
What else am I excited for?
Oh, and I mentioned earlier the Macbeth. With Denzel and Frances McDormand in there. Some other stuff there too. I'm excited for Dune.
Oh yes,
what's excited for Dune? Yeah. I think I know for superheroes, the Batman is coming next year.
Oh yeah, that's coming next year.
Yeah, so they got some stuff coming, man. Yeah. I mean, and then for the Marvel heads, a lot of the Marvel content coming next year is coming strong. Like the end of this year, the new Spider-Man's coming, and then
Marvel head over.
Yeah, and then as we go on, Doctor Strange. So anybody watch WandaVision, that's gonna be kind of continuing into Doctor Strange, so that's gonna be awesome, and a lot of good stuff, for that. And then the other films, I have to really look. I haven't there's so much, but there's things I'm really excited about. So
very good. Yeah, man. So yeah, guys, that was our review. We're making this a tradition pretty much at this point every year. Yeah. So this is our third time doing this. Man.
It don't get no better than doing this, man. We appreciate y'all, tuning in, man. Hopefully y'all agree with us, and if y'all don't, bring leave it in the comments, man. Let's have a dialogue.
Look at him getting into his YouTube bag. I love it. I was gonna say, we gave you guys our thoughts. We gave you guys our thoughts on this year's ceremony, all the categories. Yeah. Comment down below what you thought about the awards in general this year. Let us know what you thought about all the categories you talked about. Yeah. What did you think about Chadwick? What did you think about all the technical categories? Give us your thoughts on who you thought won, who snubbed, all that stuff down below. Give us your thoughts down below, okay? Appreciate y'all. And if you haven't already, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, okay? And like I always say, guys, live your best life, drink more water, stay woke, and if you're mad or sad, go listen to your favorite song, make you feel better, okay? Go listen to your favorite song.
And stay safe, y'all.
Hey, yeah, we still in the whole pan pizza, we still in the whole pan dulce. Stop playing, y'all. Wear your mask, wash your hands, social distance, and get vaccinated if you believe in doing so. Because at this point, I'm not going to argue with any anti-vaxxers. I'm tired. But if you believe in getting vaccinated, please get vaccinated as soon as you can. Yes. And yeah, man, we're going to leave off this video, okay? I appreciate y'all. This has been your boy Bright, the RB Kid, with my boy Miguel, the homie. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it. But for now, I'm signing off, baby. Bye, y'all. Peace.
I came to vibe, you came to function, just do that, baby. Don't worry about nothing, no. I came to vibe, you came to function, just do that, baby. Don't worry about nothing, no. Relax just a little bit. You don't gotta worry, you can just